Hello everyone, I'm Vijay Thapa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new course on web design using HTML and CSS. In this course, you will learn to design a beautiful and responsive website using HTML and CSS. We won't be using any framework because once you are comfortable on web design using HTML and CSS only, then web designing using a framework like Bootstrap will be so easy, it will be like a piece of a cake. So without further ado, let's move to our tutorial. So to do any web design project, I basically divide the whole project into 4 different stages. So the first stage is idea mapping. Then second stage is structuring, third stage is styling, and the final and fourth stage is making mobile ready. We will discuss about all of these stages in detail while we design our website. So let's go to our first stage, which is idea mapping. So in this stage, what I usually do is listen to the requirement of my clients and then do research based on the requirements of my clients, and I also look out the designs for my clients on different sites like Pinterest and Behance. So you can also follow me on those sites, Pinterest and Behance. I will put the link in the description. And after doing research, I will make rough sketch or design on my paper using pen or pencil. So for this web design course, I am assuming or I am creating a virtual client which is not real, and this client is a restaurant owner, and due to this pandemic they have to close their restaurant, and they want to go online, or they want to make a website. So I want to design a website where visitors or their customer can see the food in website and order from there. So we will be designing a website for a restaurant. So on this first stage, I have created a basic rough sketch. So my rough sketch looks like this. This is just for idea mapping, where I design a rough sketch, and as you can see, the top section has logo and menu, and I also write some notes to remember what those things are. In the second section we have busy image. This is the busy image, and we have input field to type keyword and search button. And second section we have categories, and here I want to display 3 main categories of food, and what I want is image on background and the title or category title on front of that image, and I want to display 3 main categories. After that, I want to display food menu, and I want to present those menu as shown in this rough sketch. And after those menu, we have social media icon, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and last one is footer. So this is a single page website design, and this is just a rough sketch. After making such sketch or rough diagram, what I usually do for my client is make a UI or user interface on softwares like Photoshop or Sketch, but this is a simple design and this is a normal course. I won't be designing those on using those softwares. I will directly go to the next stage, which is structuring. And in this stage, what I usually do is I try to break the whole site or whole web design page into different sections. Like the first is navbar section, second one is food search section, third one is category section, and fourth one is food menu section, fifth one is a social media section, and last one is footer section. So in this stage, I usually break all of the section into a whole page into different section, and after breaking the page into different section, I usually add HTML elements to those section. So let's start our project, and I will show you how I usually do, or how usually start the web design project in this section. So here in desktop I will create a folder, new, and folder I will call it restaurant, 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 and I will open this folder in my IDE or my code editor. I am using Visual Studio Code. You can use any code editor like Sublime Text or Atom or Bracket, but I am using Visual Studio Code. So I'll open this folder in my code editor. So I'll click on open folder and I'll go to desktop, and here we have restaurant. So I'll select this folder and click on select folder. So I will maximize the screen, I will close this, and this is our folder, and inside this project I will create our home page, and I will call it index.html. You can do the same. I'll click and enter, and here is our page. So the first thing I do to make a website is breaking down into different sections. For that, let's make a HTML document. So I will type shortcut HTML and let's type HTML5. Let's go with HTML5. We will be using HTML5. So I'll select the HTML5 one, and this is it. This is our HTML document. So this specifies this is HTML5, and here we have HTML. We have started HTML, and inside that we have also specified language. Lang is equal to English. After that we have head, and inside the head section we have meta charset UTF-8, meta name viewport, and this is really important to make our website responsive. So I will write a comment here, and to write a comment in HTML we use opening angle bracket, then exclamation, 2 minus sign, and at the end we have 2 minus sign and angle bracket close. So and between those angle bracket and minus or hyphen sign we will write comment. So I'll write comment here. So this is important to make website responsive, and here we have title, and here we can add let's say restaurant or RESTAURANT restaurant website. So this will be the title of our website, and this title is seen on the top section in our browser. So I'll open this file in my browser. So I'll right click on this file and open or reveal file in Explorer, and I will double click on this file, and this is our file. We do not have anything in our body section, so we don't have anything in body, so this is blank. But you can see here restaurant website, this is title. So whatever you type on this title section, it will be displayed on top here. Now inside the body section we will design our web page. So let's see the sketch of our website. I will open the sketch as well. So here we have sketch. So based on this we will divide our whole page into different section. So the first section is our navbar. So let's go to code editor, and here I will write a comment. So navbar section starts here, and I'll copy it and paste it again. Here navbar section ends. I like to write comment because it is clean, and whenever I have to come back after some time I can easily navigate to a specific section. So after navbar we have our this food source section. So I'll call it a food source section. I'll just copy this, Control C, and inside this I will create a section as well. So section, and I will give its class as, I will also give a class inside this section. Class is equals to food.search, and I will copy this and paste it here, Control V, and this is not a number section, this is food search. food search, and paste here, ends here. That's okay. And this is not food search, this is navbar. I forgot, I mistakenly typed the food search because I was talking about food search section. After that, let's paste it here again. Sorry, Ctrl Z. I'll copy it and again paste it here. So this will be a categories section. So this is category section. So copy this, category section ends here, and class will be categories. And after that we will have food menu section, food menu, and let's call it food menu. And this is not food search, food menu. And after that we have categories, food menu, then social media and footer. So I'll call it social media, social, let's delete it, social. And this is also social section. And the last one is footer. So this is footer, and this is footer, and let's give it footer class. So we have everything. And inside the section, just for checking purpose, let's create a h1 tag, and here I'll write navbar. So I'll just copy it, Ctrl and C, and paste it here and here. So this is food search, and this is categories, and this is food menu, and this will be social, and this will be footer. So that's it. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and I'll refresh the browser. So I will minimize, let's go to our browser and I'll refresh it. So here you can see we have our different section: navbar, food search, categories, food menu, social, and footer. So that's it. So this is how I break the whole page into different section, and then work on each section slowly. So this is how I do web design projects. So let's see the image again. So here we have logo and home, about, contact, or this are menu. But before working on the navbar section, I want to add a container, and I want to add space on both sides of a menu, or I want to add the content on the middle and add space on both of the sides. For that I will add a container. So I will before h1 tag I will create another division. So div, and inside this division I will create a class called container, and I will cut this closing div and add after our h1 tag. So I will put it here, and I will indent it properly. Indentation is really important to navigate the code. So we have container, and I will add the same thing, container, on all of our sections. So I'll add the container here as well. So I'll just copy all of this and then change. So this is food source, and then I also add on here, this is categories, and here food menu. I just copied and pasted, that's all. So we have container on everything, so I'll also paste it here. Container, this is social, and here also. So Control V, this is footer, this is footer. So I'll save it, Control S. Let's go to our browser and let's refresh it, but nothing changes because we have not added CSS for this container class. So let's add created CSS file and add CSS for that as well. So here we have our index.html file, and along with this file I will create a new folder. So I'll click on new folder and create a folder called CSS, and inside this folder I will create a new file and call it style.css. You can also do the same for your project. And here first thing I want is I will add a comment. So for CSS, to add a comment you have to add a slash, asterisk and slash, and between these things we can add comment. So I want it on multi-line, so I just took the ending comment tag at the bottom, and between this we will write our comment. So first thing I want to write is author, and author is my name. I will give my name, and then we can give the theme. I will call the theme of this website as restaurant, clean restaurant, food order, and let's give it a version as well. Version, this is 1.0. okay, so that's it. Now we have to work on our container class. So here we have added container on all of the section. So I will create a class container. So dot container, here dot specifies a class. Instead of dot, if I had used pound or hash sign, it would be an ID, but we are using a class. Here you can see this is class. We have to use dot or full stop sign. And for container I want to have this content in middle section, and I want to have blank space on left and right side. So I will give its width as 80%. Since we want to make the website responsive, I will be giving the width in percentage sign. So the whole space is 100%. So when I give 80% width, it will be of, I think it will be of this size. Let's save it and let's refresh it, but we cannot see any changes. So to see the changes and just for guideline purpose, I will add a border 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 of 1 pixel solid red, and I will save it and I will refresh it, but we can't see the changes because we have not added the CSS file in our HTML file. So we need to link our CSS file here. So go to the head section, we need to include link the CSS file in our head section. So here we will link the CSS file. So I'll write a comment first, link our CSS file. So here we will have a link CSS. So I'm using a shortcut in my Visual Studio Code editor. So this fills almost all of the things for me. So the tag is link rel is equals to style sheet inside double quote, and href is equals to style.css, but our style.css file is inside our CSS folder. So we have to type the folder name CSS folder. Inside the CSS folder we have style.css css / style.css file. So let's save it and let's refresh the browser. Now we can see the width. So this is the boundary, this sets, since we gave the width as 80%, it has set the boundary. The whole thing is 100%, but this is 80%. So now we can see with a border. This is just for, this border is just for guideline purpose. After we complete our web page design, we will remove this border. Okay, so but earlier I said I want the space blank on both of the side and content on the middle. What we can do is we can add margin, and margin we do not want any margin. So first one is on top and bottom, and second one is auto. So if we give the margin with two values like 0 and this also like 0, then this is for top and bottom, and this one is for left and right. And we can also give for all of the sides, like top, this will be on clockwise, this will be on clockwise dimension. So this will be top, this will be on right, this will be bottom, and this will be on left. Okay, hope you know the CSS box style. So this will be top and bottom, and this will be on left and right, and what we want margin on is left and right. That's why I'll use auto and save it, and I will refresh it. Now since I have added auto for left and right, it pushes our main content in middle and adds the blank space on left and right. If I had added like 5% here, it would add margin or space on top or bottom. I will refresh it. You can see it has added the space on top and bottom. So I will also specify, or I will also try to make you clear about the margin and padding. So the margin is applied outside the border. This is the border, and margin is applied outside the border, and we have a padding as well. So padding, and padding will be applied. So I'll give 5%, and if I give a single value, then it will be applied on all of the sides. So I want to show it. So if I refresh it, now we have space inside our border as well. So this is our actual container content, and margin is applied outside the border, whereas padding is applied inside the border. So I just want to make you understand this margin and padding thing. So I hope you understand it. But if you are really beginner and don't know much about HTML and CSS, please let me know in the comment below, and I may make course for very beginner as well, where I will try to make you more clear about basic things of HTML and CSS. But I hope you understand margin and padding. So I will remove this padding, and when I remove it, the space inside the border is gone, and I also don't want the space in top and bottom. So I'll remove it as well, 0. I only want a space on left and right. So that's good. And we also have default, if you see, we already have default padding as well in top and bottom. So to remove that, I will use asterisk sign. This means it will be applied on all of the things, and it will remove all the default values for our web page. So here I will set margin as 0, 0, and I will also change the padding as 0, 0. Let's save it and let's refresh it. So it removed the margin and padding for our all of the tags. Now I also want to change the font family, font type or font family for our website. So here I will change the font family. Here I will use these things. So Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif, you can type it. If your code editor do not show or do not give any suggestion, then you can use you can just type the font name and it will be applied. So we have given 3 different font. This is for safety purpose. If one font is not available, then it will automatically display another font. So that's the purpose of giving multiple font here. So if I refresh it, our font is also changed. Okay, so it do not looks that much pretty. So let's give our container padding of 1%. So that looks good right now. If we need more padding, then we will add padding for our individual section. We will not add more padding on our container. So that's it. So that was our container CSS for our container. Now let's look at the rough sketch. So we have logo on our top section and left section of our navbar, and we have a menu on the right. So let's go to our navbar section. I'll open Visual Studio Code. I'll go to index.html, and here I will just remove it, and here I will create a div, and here I will type logo image. I want to display the image here, and I'll give its class as logo. And after the logo, what we have is, after the logo we have menu. So let's create another div for our menu. Menu will be displayed here. So I'll give it a class of menu, and let's save it. So let's refresh our browser. I will go to our browser and let's refresh it. So we have logo, image, and menu. Currently they are on the same line, but we will add CSS in a while, and we will display all of those things in their respective position. We will display the image later. Just for now, I will just add HTML elements for now. So we have logo, image, and menu. After that, what we have is, let's see our rough sketch. We have category section. Inside the category section, we have our title. So this title will be on s2 tag, s2. So let's go to our code editor, and let's go to our food search section. This is our container. We won't be using h1 tag. H1 tag should be used only one type in a single page. This is for SEO, search engine optimization purpose. So we will use h2 tag to display the title. So here I'll call categories, and after that, what we have is, after categories we have three different boxes. So since we have three different boxes, I will create a division called box 3 and try to imitate those. So we have title, and after the title, what we need is box. So I'll create a division, div, division, and I will type here box 1. This is just to give the structure for our website. We will make it better using CSS in our third stage, which is styling. So here I will give a name or class of box 3. Since we will have 3 different boxes, I will give its class as box 3, and I will copy it, Control C, Control V, sorry, I will copy it again, Control and C, and here Control V, and again Control V. So this is box 1, this is box 2, and this is box 3, and the class for all of these boxes is same, which is box 3. Okay, box 3, box 3, box 3. Sorry, we missed our second section, which is food source. So this must be, I will cut all of this, I'll cut it, Control and X, and I will paste inside our category section. So this should be here, and this should be our food search section. Here what we have right now is just a search form, search input, and a button, and we will add the image in our background. So here what we need is form. So action, leave the action as it is, and here we will add our input tag and input, and its type will be search, and let's add a name will also be search, and its placeholder will be search for food. Let's save it and let's refresh our browser. So I'll go to our browser and I'll refresh the browser, and here we have our form, or we have our input field to search the food, and after that we need is a button. So I will create another input tag input, and it will be submit. Its type will be submit, and let's give a name will also be submit, and its value or name of the button will be search. So I just added it, search, save it, and let's refresh the browser, and here we have our input field, and here we have our search button. So let's look at our section. So this section we have input field to input to type and our search. So input to type and search, and here we have title and box 1 2 3. This should be on stacking, or this should be on our right side, but currently we have on same section, but we will manage, or we will make it better in our another stage, which is styling. So let's go to our another section, which is food menu or explore foods. So let's go to our third section. So I'll go to our Visual Studio Code, and here we do not want h1 tag, so I'll add h2 tag, and these are, I will call it explore foods, and after the title what we have is, let's see the image, we have different food menu. So all of these are foods. So I will create a division, so let's call it division, and here food menu 1, and let's give a class as well, class food dash menu, and I will copy this multiple times, Control C, and let's paste below them. So this is food menu 2, and I will copy both of them again and paste it here. So this is 3 and this is 4. So let's save it and let's refresh the browser. Let's go to our browser. I will refresh it. So we have explore food. This is category food menu 1, food menu 2, food menu 3, food menu 4. This should be as seen in our rough sketch. This will be food menu 1, this will be food menu 2, this will be 3, and this will be 4. We will make our design like this after adding CSS in our next stage. So let's go to our another section, which is social. So social section is here, and here we will add menu. For that we will be using UEL undefined list, and here we will have ELI, and inside that we will have anchor tag, and here we can inside the href tag we can give the link to our social media, and here I will call Facebook for now, and later we will add actual icon here and see it in our footer. So I'll copy it and paste it here. So Facebook, I will change it as Instagram, and this will be, let's say, Twitter. So that's it. Let's save it and let's refresh it. So it looks like this. It looks ugly now, but we will add icon and see show all of those in our horizontal line. So for now let it be right like that. And last one is footer, and for footer we will add a normal paragraph tag. and inside the paragraph we will write all rights reserved and developed so designed by, let's give anchor tag a for link, and I will give the name, my name Vijay Thapa. So what we have is all right reserved and designed by Vijay Thapa, and here we can add link on our name. So if we refresh, so this is our footer, and footer also I want to show them in the center, but for now let it be like that. And in the menu section, let's add UL tag like on social container. So let's go to our menu, and here I will add a UL tag, and inside that UL I will add a li tag, and inside that I will add a link. For link we use anchor tag a, and this has a pound sign. This means default or dummy link, and here I will call home. So I will copy li tag, Ctrl and C, and paste another one, paste another one, paste another one. So this will be about, and this will be foods, and this will be contact. So that's it. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and let's refresh the browser, and here we have our menu: home, about, foods, contact. Now we have structured all the sections with their HTML element, but it looks ugly, I know. Don't get bored. Now the font section starts in our next stage, which is styling. So let's start our third stage, which is styling, and here we will add CSS style to make our website little bit better, or we will, at the end of this stage, we will make our website amazing. Just believe me guys, just have patience. Within around 10-15 minutes this will be totally different, and this will look really amazing. Okay, let's go to our index file. This is our HTML file, and here I want to add the image, so I will delete it, and I will add image tag img, and here we need to give the link to our image file, and here we can give the name of the image. So I'll give it as restaurant logo, and here we will give the image file link. But before that, what I want to do is I want to create a folder in our project. So I'll click on folder, and I'll give its name as images, and here I will import all the images for our website. So I'll minimize it, and minimize it, and here I have already selected images for our website, and we will use these images. So I will copy all of this. I don't need this one, so let's copy all the image. I'll copy all of these images and paste it in our images folder. This is the folder we just created from our code editor, so I'll copy and paste it here. So we have all the images, we can see. Let's see, view large icon. So we have background, we have logo. This will be the logo. I created this logo using a free logo maker tool within couple of minutes, and I'll be using this one. And all of these images, I have obtained all of these images from unsplash.com, and all of these images are royalty free. If you want to download this image, you can check it out. And also, if you want to use the same images I have used, then I will put the link to download in the description below. Go to that link and download, and you can make same website like me. But if you want to use your own image, then feel free to use and experiment your own images. But for now, I'll be using these images, and I have already copied and pasted all the images that I have downloaded in our project folder. So I'll close it, and I'll go to Visual Studio Code, my code editor, and if I expand the images folder, now we have all the images. So here I'll give the link of our image, which is images folder, and inside the images folder we have, let's go, logo.png. so this is the logo that I have created. So Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and let's refresh our browser. So here you can see the logo, but we want to give a specific or certain width to this logo section. So let's go to our styled CSS, and here I will create a comment and write CSS for navbar section. So here let's call it, let's create a CSS for logo, and here I will give its width as 10%. So this whole inside our container, its width, the section of our navbar section's width, we have container, and inside the container we have logo. So right now this logo holds the space of whole part. So if I can see, so I will show you. So go to width and logo. Let's give the border just for guideline purpose. Let's add border here as well. So border 1 pixel solid black. For now I will use black color, and if we refresh it, it's taking this space. That's okay because I have given the width 10%. I'll remove this, and if I refresh it, so for right now this logo section contains the space or includes the space of whole container section, but we do not want that. We only want this space to be of 10% width. So let's give its width as 10%, and rest of the space will be covered by our menu. So I'll refresh it. So this is the space for our logo, but our image is going outside of our container. So if we want to be included inside that area only, then we can give CSS for our image as well. So here if I go and type width is equals to 100%, then it will be included. This will go inside this black border area only. So this goes inside our black border area, but we do not want to use this method, because if we have like 10 or 20 pages, and if we want to change the width of logo from here, then we will have to make change on all of the section. Instead we will use our class. Let's add a class here, class, and let's call it img responsive. It means image will always be content inside the border. So we have created CSS of image responsive. So if I refresh it, it's going outside of the border. Now we have created image class. Let's add the class in our style.css file as well. So here I'll call img.responsive responsive. And another benefit of creating class and using it is we can use this class on another section as well. But if we had used only here, then we need to type the same code in other section as well. But when we create a class, we can reuse the same code again and again. So here I'll give its width as 100%. Refresh it. Now it's inside our container. Now let's work on moving these text in our right side. So same as above. So I will add another comment here. Let's add CSS for all, CSS for navbar section. So this is for all. So I will cut it and add to the top. Similarly, let's create another class. So we want this text to be on the right side. So I will create another CSS class called text dash right, and we will align the text in right side. So text dash align is equals to right. That's it. So we will use this class text right in our menu section. So along with menu, let's add text dash right, and refresh the browser. Now we have our menu on our right side, but it's still not in our horizontal line, it's on vertical. So let's work on that. So let's go to our CSS, and here we have to target our UL and li, which is inside our menu class. So what we have is we have menu class at first. So here we have menu class, and inside that menu we have UL. So let's add UL, and here we have a property called list style type, and list style type will be none, and let's save it. Menu UL list style type none. So let's refresh the browser. Now we do not have any dot here now, and after that we need to align them in a horizontal line. So let's align them. After that menu UL, we will create another CSS menu UL li, and its property will be display inline, and this will display our menu in the same line, but it's on lower side, it's not on the same label. So for that what we will do is we will float the logo on left section, so it will create room for our menu section. Float left, so float left and refresh. Now it goes at the top, but here now again our logo is in our foot search section. For that we need to clear our floating. So this float option is applied, and this is causing, or this is taking space on our another section as well. So we do not want to take the space of another section. So let's add another div after menu. So this is menu div. After this we will create another div, and here we will add a class of clear fix, and this class we will create this class, and here for CSS for all, here we will call clear fix, and we will clear both, and our float will be none. So what this will do is we are floating from here, this is logo section, and we are floating it. So we are floating it to the left, so it took space of our this foot search section as well. But from here, from after the menu, we do not want to float anymore, and we want to stop floating from here. So this clear fix CSS will stop floating and will stop taking the space of our category section. So let's refresh it, and now it's not taking the space of our foot search section, but it's still on top. We are not on the same line. For that we will add line height. So in our menu section, let's add a menu, and this is our menu class. This is for our this menu section. This is menu. So in class we can add multiple class inside our same class tag. So we have menu and we have text light class. In menu we will add line height. So here we will add line height property, line height property. Let's give its line height as, let's say, 30 pixel. Let's save it and let's refresh it. It's a little bit down, but we need more space, so let's give 40. Refresh it, it's a little bit down. Let's give 60. Refresh it, let's refresh. Now it looks on the middle of this logo, so that looks nice, but we still need spacing between this menu. So let's add space. So inside the menu ULLI, here I will add padding of 1%. Let's save it and let's refresh it. So this is nice now, but after that we also need to change the color of our menu. So let's change the color. So we will target the anchor tag. So we have a tag, so we will target this, and let's change the color for all of the anchor tag. We have two method. We can do like menu ul lia and change the color as color black, so black black, and save it, and let's refresh, and it changes to black. We can do this way, or we can do another way as well, which is CSS for all, and here we will tag anchor tag only, anchor tag for all in our web page, and here we can add same property, which is color black, and I will remove it, and it will work as before. We do not have any difference. So what should we use? If we use this anchor tag, then it will affect all the anchor tag in our page, like this color also change, color of this as well change. But if we do not use this and we only use this one, then the color of the menu section will only be used, only be changed, but other will remain same. So the choice is up to you, but for simplicity I think I will use, or I will change the color of all the anchor tag. So I will remove this one, and I will use CSS for all, which is anchor tag at the top, and color will be black for now. And I also want to remove underline. So if we refresh, all of the color of all of the links are changed, and I also want to change the underline option. So I will change underline. So text decoration, DCORATION, and text decoration none. Let's save it, let's refresh it. So underline is gone, but I want to give the website of theme of the website as red color. So I have a favorite site to choose a color. This is called flatUIcolors.com, and I want to use this red color as my primary color. So I click on this, and it copies the color hex code. So instead of black, I will use that code. So Control V, and let's refresh our site, and it's nice red color, and it changes the color of everything. And I also want to change the hover color. So let's change the hover color as well. Hover means whenever we take the cursor and point it, so this is hover. So whenever we point the cursor, this is hover. Okay, so let's change for that as well, a hover. So this means this is called pseudo class in CSS, which means it selects the state of a particular HTML element. Right now we are selecting hover state. So while hovering, I want to change its color to this red color. This is darker red, so I'll copy this color and paste it here. Let's save it, Control and S, and let's refresh our website. So let's refresh it, and whenever we hover, we can change subtle. This is not very different, but this is subtle. This is a small element, so we cannot see the changes, but if when we add a CSS on button, we will see the change. So this looks nice. Right now our navbar section looks nice, but what I want to do is I want to make the font weight of our menu a little bit bold. So let's go to menu ULLI. If I add font weight here, then it will be applied on all of the section, but I do not want that. I only want bold in our menu section. So here let's add font weight as bold, save it, and let's refresh the browser. Now it's bold. Now when you hover, you can change the subtle little bit change in color when you hover. So this is our menu section, and our navbar section is done. So we made all the changes for our navbar section. So I will hide the navbar section for now, and let's work on food search section. Okay, so if we look to our rough sketch, what we have is a background image in our food search section, and then we have our search input field and button. So let's add background for our search food search section. So let's go to our code editor, and what we have is food search class, and we need to add background in our food search. So I'll go to style.css. Now let's create another comment, and here CSS for food search section. So here we will target, or we will select food search class. So this is food search class, and what we want is background image, background dash image, and here we want to give URL, and here we will give URL. So here right now we are inside the style.css class. So to select the image, we need to get out of this CSS folder and get inside our images folder. So to get out of the CSS folder, we need to add two full stop or dot and then slash, and then we need to go to our images folder and then select our bg.jpg. So here is our bg.jpg. So this is our background image. So let's save it and let's refresh our browser. Here we have our image, but that's not looking very good. So let's add padding inside our food search class. So I will add padding here, padding of 6%. Let's save it. So this will apply a padding on all the sides. And here we have, so I do not want padding on left and right, I only want padding on top. So let's say padding top, or padding top and bottom 6% and left and right 0. Let's save it and let's refresh it. So we are not applying padding on left and right, and this image also looks a little bit bigger. So let's add background size cover. So let's save it and let's refresh it. It's it, and we don't want to repeat background, repeat, no repeat. So what we have added here is background size is cover, so it will be of full size. And another thing is background repeat, no repeat. This is because if the image is smaller, then it automatically repeats in all of the sides, like on vertically as well as horizontally. So we do not want that, so we stop that using no repeat. And another one we need is background position to be in center. So we want our image to be in center, so background position is center. Let's refresh. Now our image looks pretty good. Let's add padding of a little bit bigger, so 7%. Now we can see almost all of our images, but our input tag is not looking so good. We want this input tag to be in center. Okay, so let's go to our index.html, and here what we have is input type text, and what we want is we want this this button and input field to be in center. So as we have created style CSS for our text right, I think text right, let's create another for text center, and here we will align text align center. Let's save it, and we will use this class to align our input types. So let's go to our food search section, and along with food search, let's use text CE center. Let's save it and refresh our browser. Now we have our input search and button in the center, but we want it to be bigger. So let's make our input field little bit bigger. So let's go to CSS, and at the bottom inside our food search section, here we will only target the input field of our food search section. So let's select food search class first, and inside that food search what we have is input, and we need to target input type is equals to search. So our input type is search. Let's check. So input type search, we are targeting only this input field, and let's give its width as 50%. Let's save it. Let's refresh the browser and let's check it. So now it looks bigger, it's nice, but we need to make it little wider, or we need to give its height as well. So let's select its height. For that I will use padding 1%. Now it's bigger and nicer. Along with the padding, let's add let's increase the font size as well. So I will give its font size as font size not adjust, font size only, and we will give 1 means 100, 1 rem. I will give relative, so this will be responsive for different device sizes as well. So I will give 1 rem. You can give pixel as well, but I give 1 rem. So 1 rem means 100%, so it will be no change. There will be certain little bit change, so there is a little change, that's okay. And we have also black border outside our text box. I don't want that, so border, I want to remove that. Border none. Let's save it, refresh it, and the border is gone. And here we have our bigger font, and let's make changes for our button as well. So here let's give the class for our search. We will be using button in our different sections, so I want to create a class for all of them, common class for all of them, and use them repeatedly. So I'll call btn. So btn class, I will make class for all. Here after a tag, let's create btn, and let's give it padding of 1%. Let's refresh it. Now it looks nice. Let's remove the border none. Let's refresh it. Border is gone, and let's increase the font size as this one. So let's give its font size as font size as 1 rem, and refresh it. Now it's bigger and nicer. Now let's change the color of our button as well. Since we are using primary color as red, this is our primary color and this is our hover color. I want to add a consistent color all over our website, so I want to change the color of our button as our primary color. So I will create another class, and it will be called btn dash. Sometimes you may have multiple color button of multiple colors, like btn primary, btn secondary, btn danger, btn success, etc. So for that purpose, and when you make habit of creating classes like this, then it will be really handy and really useful while learning framework like Bootstrap, because Bootstrap has classes like this. You won't be writing individual CSS like this. They have already written all the CSS, and you only call the name of those class and use it. For that purpose only I am creating this button. Okay, so let's create a CSS for btn primary and make our button beautiful. So we have added btn primary, but we do not have any color right now. So here we will create btn primary, and we will give background color. Background color will be this color. This is our primary color. So I'll copy it and let's paste it here. Let's save it and let's refresh it. Now we have our red color, but this black color text doesn't look good, so let's change its color as well. So I'll change its color to white. Let's save it and refresh it. Now it looks a little bit nice, but whenever we hover over the button, the pointer, the cursor does not change. I want it to change to our hand icon, like in our menu it changes to hand icon. I want to change that. So for that, let's add cursor as pointer, and let's save it and let's refresh it. Now it changes to our hand icon whenever I hover on our button. But whenever I hover over the button, I also want to change its color as well. So let's uh, add a pseudo class of hover like in our anchor tag. So here we will tag btn primary, and whenever we hover we want to change the color. So background color we want to change this to this hover color. This is our hover color, so I'll select it and paste it here. So Ctrl V, Ctrl and S to save. Let's refresh it and let's hover. Now you can see the change in color. Since the button is bigger, the change can be seen. The menu was smaller, so the change is really very subtle, but in button we can see the change very clearly. And we have our edges of this input tag and button are really pointed, but let's make it little curved. So I will change the pointed into curve. So to change we need to add border radius. So I will go to our button, and in button I will change its border radius to, let's say, 5 pixel. Let's save it and let's refresh. And here it's subtle change, so let's change it to 10 and let's refresh. It doesn't look, I think 5 is okay. So let's refresh, it's okay. Let's change the border radius for our input type, this source box as well. So let's go to our source, food source, not this one, this input type food source, and here we will change border radius to 5 pixel and save it. Let's refresh it. Now it looks little bit curved and it's nice. With this we have also completed our food source section. Now let's work on our category section. Okay, so let's go to our index.html. Now I will minimize our food source section as well. Now let's go to our food category section. Here we have s2, and s2 is displayed on left side, and here in our sketch I have categories and center, so I want them to be on center. So let's work on that. So I will add css in our s2. So class we have already created text.center, so we will use this to position it. So text center, and let's refresh the browser, and it's on center successfully. Okay, this black is really dark black. Instead of this dark black I want to change it to subtle black, like this black. So let's change it. So I want to change the color of s2 of all other section like explore food and categories. So I will create a css for all at the top. This is css for all section. So here I will create s2, and its color, I want its color to be this color. So I'll just click here and paste it here, and let's refresh here. This is really dark. When I click on or refresh it, it changes to a little bit different dark, and its color also changed. And I want this s2 tag to be real little bit bigger. So let's change, or let's increase this font size. So font size will be, let's say, 1.3 rem. Let's save it and let's refresh it. Sorry, it's not, it's smaller. Let's change it to, let's say, 2 rem. Now it looks bigger and it looks better as well. Now we have created 4 categories. Let's add space at the top as well as the bottom. So this is our which section? This is our category section. So we will create class or css for categories. Let's go to style css. Let's go to the bottom here, css for categories, and here we will add dot create class for categories, and let's add padding at top and bottom only. So top and bottom, let's say 3%, and left and right 0. Save it and let's refresh it. So we have our padding inside our top and bottom. So we have added padding inside our category section, not inside our container. So this looks nice. Let's increase the padding 4%. Sorry, 4%. Save it. And this is nice. This is kind of nice. Okay. Now let's create boxes for our section. So we have 3 big boxes. So I want to make 3 big boxes for them. So let's create boxes for them. So we have box 3. So our class name is box 3. So we will target that. Control C, box 3. And let's go to here and let's call box 3. And here first thing I will give is border, just for guideline, 1 pixel solid black. Right now each of these boxes are taking our whole space, so it's taking whole space. But if we want to fit 3 boxes on the same line, then we need to minimize its width. The simplest way is to divide all of those boxes by 3. So if we divide 100% by 3, then it will be 33.3. But we'll also be adding like padding and margin. So we need to go a little bit lower, like let's give width 33%, and refresh, and it looks like this. And to add boxes on same line, we need to add float like we used on our menu. We also need to use float in this area. So let's add float left, let's say, and refresh it. Now they are on same space or same line, but they are taking the space of our bottom region, which is explore foods. So we need to remove that. To remove that, what we can do is we need to add, after the last box, we need to add div region, and we need to add class of clear fix. So this will stop floating our boxes. So let's save it and let's refresh it. Now it looks kind of good. Okay. And we have boxes, but they are attached together. So let's give them padding. So here let's give not padding, let's give margin. We do not want space inside the box, we only want space outside the box to have space between these boxes. So let's give margin of, let's say, 1%. Let's save it. Now the box is appearing down here, because if we calculate, already they are already 33% wide, and if you add 1% margin on both, so it will be, the single box will be 33% width plus 1% on left and 1% on the right. So total will be 35%. So 35 plus 35 is 70, and 70 plus another 35 is 105%. So it came down here. So let's decrease the width, and it appears here. But now I want more space, so I will go with, let's say, 3%, and I will add its width as 28%. Refreshes, this is not 3%, I guess 2%. Refresh it. Now it looks nice. If you do not understand this calculation, please comment below. I will try to elaborate, and I will try to explain more in comment for you. Okay, so if you do not understand the calculation I have done, then please comment below. Now if we see our sketches, what I want is image as background and title as front. Okay, so let's go to our HTML, index.html, and here instead of box 1, the first thing I want is image And another thing I want it title. So for title I will just add s3 tag, and here I'll call it title. And here, let's say here I will add image. I will give the image source. We have already added images, and I will add the first as pizza. Let's call it pizza. This is a category is pizza, and inside this pizza category we can have multiple food like chicken pizza or mushroom pizza, mixed pizza, pepperoni, capricosa, tuna pizza, etc. So this is a category. So I want this image. So if I refresh it, we can see the image, but it's not taking full width. For that we will add a class, and to make it full width we have already created a CSS, which is, if you see here, we already have image img responses which width is 100%. That's the purpose of creating class. We can reuse again and again, so we don't need to create new class. So I'll call it img dash responsive. Let's save it, and if I refresh it, it takes whole space, but the title is down here. But I want this title to appear above the text. So what we will create is, I will create another CSS or another class. The first one is, I will call it float container, and in title I will call it float text, because I want this text to float above the image. So we will create CSS for them. So let's create this will also be CSS for all. So here we will get float dash container CNTI, and its position, we have another position called position. We have another property called position, and it will be relative. And what this means is position of this container or float container, and it will be a normal position, and we can move this image left or right using our CSS, which is left. If we add like 50%, then it will move 50% from left from its normal position. So this is the container, so it's moving like 50% away from left from this our container. Okay, but we do not want that. We only want to move our title, so that's why we will not this. Instead what we want is float text here, and its position will be absolute. Position absolute. So position relative is a normal position. Position absolute means, so I will refresh it. So position absolute means this is the CSS for float text is applied on S3. Here S3 CSS is applied on S3. So this float text is applied on S3, and its now its position is relative, which means this is inside our box 3 or float container. This float text is inside our float container. So what position relative will do is its position will be calculated from its float container. So previously this image moved away from this container, but this float title will move from this image container. Okay, so for this its radius is, or this its boundary is float container, which is our box 3, or float container, which is this black line. But for this image its boundary is red line. So it will move, this title will move away from our this black line boundary, but not from our red line boundary. I hope you understood it. If you do not understand, please check the description. I will add the description about this, all of this position thing and margin and padding in the description, or I will put the link to the article where I will be explaining more about these things. Okay guys, So if you do not understand or if you have any confusion, please comment below. I will love to explain more for you, and I will make more better courses in future as well. So that will be a lesson learned for me. So that's it. So for now, let's change the position of this title. So I'll go to float text style. So float text, and here what I want to do is I want to position it little bit up. So I will select its bottom property, and bottom, let's say 50 pixel. Save it. So it will move 50 pixel up from bottom. So it's up here. Now we need to move it from left as well. So I will select left property and give the percentage here. So percentage 30%. Why I give percentage 30%? Because I always want it to be in center, so that's why I'll give it 30%. And here it is, it's not in center still, so let's give it 40%. So I think it's in center now. Float text, it's black. Let's give another CSS to make it white. So I've got text white. I am making another CSS text white, and its color will be white, just to give the color. So text white, color is white. So I will add it on S3. So with S3, so along with float text, I will call it text white. Save it and refresh it. Now it's white. Now let's make this S3 tag. This is S3 tag. Let's make it its font size a little bit bigger as well. So where is S2? Here we have S2. Let's select S3 and let's give its font size as well. Font size, let's say 1.5 rem. Save it and let's refresh it. Now it's bigger and nicer. So instead of title, I will write it, I'll change this to, this is pizza. Let's save it and I'll refresh it. So it's pizza now. Okay, so and along with that, I also want the image to be curved, because we have already added curve here, we have already added curve in button as well. So I do not want it to be pointed, so I also want this to be curved. So what we can do is we can either add CSS here, or like the image responsive, let's create another class called img-image curve, and let's create CSS here. So where is image? I want to group together. So here is image responsive, I will call it dash image curve, and here I will give its border radius as, let's give it 10 pixel, because it's bigger than our input field. So I will refresh it. Now it looks nicer. Okay, it looks a little bit nicer. Let's increase the pixel. How much? Let's say 15 pixel. It's okay. So I think this looks great. So let's remove the border for our box 3. So I will remove the border, but before removing border, let's add images on other box as well. So I'll just copy here, Ctrl C, remove the box 2 and paste it here, remove the box 3 and paste it here. So this one will be, this is not pizza, this will be like burger, and I'll call it as burger, and this is also burger, as burger, and here instead of pizza this is momo, and this is also momo. In Nepali dumpling is called momo, so I have added those here. This is also momo. Save it and let's go back and let's refresh it. Now you can see text more clear here, but I think something is wrong. So float text, white text, float text, we do not have float container here, so that was the problem. Dash So since we do not have float container, it messed up, so I added the float container here, and I also add the float container along with box 3. Save it, Control and S. Let's refresh. I think something is wrong. Float container, float text, I missed A here. Float container, CONTAINER container. Let's refresh. Now they are on right position. Pizza, burger, momo. Now let's should we remove the border now, or should we remove at the end of this project? I think let's it will be a surprise when we remove the border at the end, so let's let it be right now. Let it be as it is for now, and let's work on our explore food or food menu section, and we will remove all of this border at the end. Okay, this will be a surprise. Okay guys, that's it for our category section. Now let's work on our explore food section. So I will minimize it, and here we have food menu and explore food. Similarly as before, we need class, and this is text center. So save it and let's refresh the page. Now it's on center, beautiful and nice. And let's check our image. Here we have boxes, 2 different boxes for food menu, and inside that we have image, title, and all of those things. So let's work on that. So what we have is, here we have food menu. So let's go to CSS, and here we will work on CSS for food menu. And first thing we will do is select food dash menu, and first thing I will do is add a border, and border will be, let's say 1 pixel solid black. Save it and refresh the browser. So they are taking whole width. Food menu, I think I have food menu at different time. Food menu, this is also food menu, this is also food menu. What should we call? Let's call it food menu box. Okay, so I'll call food menu box, and this is not food menu, this is food menu box. So it will be applied only on our food menu, and this is taking our complete space, but we do not want that. What we want is only 50%, almost 50%, or let's say 45% space. So I'll give the width of let's say for now I'll give 45% to be on safe side. So it's taking 45%. I need margin as well, so let's say margin of 1%. Now it's applying margin on left, right, top and bottom and all of the sides, and after that we also need to float it on left side. So let's refresh it. Now it's floating on left side, but we do not want that to happen. So what I will do is I will remove all of this, and I will copy them again. And as we have remembered earlier, after the end of the floating thing, we also need to add clear fix. So here I will add clear fix class to stop floating. Class clear fix, and save it and refresh it. Now what we have is, we have different sections, but I also want padding inside them, so let's add padding along with margin. Let's add padding will be 1%. So these boxes look nice, and to separate them from our to separate our menu or explore food section from rest of this, I want to add a gray background color. So I will select the food menu section, food menu. So this is for all. So this is whole section, food menu is whole section, food menu box is just a box inside that food menu, and I want its background color basic background dash color. I want it to be gray, but not this much gray, I just lightly gray. Okay, so I have already selected a color for that, so I'll paste it. This is EC. So this is, you can copy this and paste it in your background color as well. So I will refresh it. Now it is slightly gray, not that difference, not very different, but I want this food menu box to be white. So I will add, so food menu box is here, and it's basic background dash color to be white. So save it and refresh it. Now it's white, and but it's gray, so it separates out from it. And I think I will increase padding, it will be 2%. Sorry, and we need to decrease the width now. Okay, that looks fine. And I also want space above this section, so I want to have nice space top and bottom, at the top and bottom of our food menu. So I'll add padding here as before. I'll add 4% on top and bottom, but nothing on left and right. So now we have nice space at the top and bottom. That's it. Now let's work on food menu section. Here what we have is, let's see the sketch. So here we have image on the left, and we have title and price and short description, and then button. So we'll add that. So let's go to our index.html, and instead of this food menu, what we need is another division. We will add div tag, and this will be, let's say class will be food dash menu dash ing. So here we will display image, and after that we will add food menu description, and I will give its class as food menu description. And inside here we will have, for first thing we will have a title. So here also I will give let's say h4 tag and food food title, and then another thing we want is price. So let's give division for that, division, let's give paragraph tag only. So I'll give paragraph tag, so it will be, let's say $2.3. and another thing we need is paragraph for description, like made with Italian sauce, chicken, and organic vegetable. You can write the short description here, and after that what we want is button. So I will add a button here. So we need anchor tag for that, so I'll add default link, and I'll give its class as btn, and it will be btn primary, and I will call it order now. So let's save it, Ctrl N S to save, and let's refresh it. Now here we have nice button, paragraph, and image, but all of those I want it to have a breakpoint here. So let's save it and refresh it. Now order now button is down here, but whenever we hover the button do not have a color. For that we need to go to style.css, and in our btn primary hover here, let's add a color. Let's paste it here, Ctrl V, Ctrl save, and whenever we hover, now we have our white color. Okay, let's go to index.html again, and here in our section we need image, and here we need to get images and slash, let's add a menu pizza.jpg, and this is, let's say, chicken Hawaiian pizza, and let's save it and let's refresh it. Now it's big, but we don't want that big, so we need to give it a certain width, and we will float it on left and display all of the text on the right. So now let's give the width to our food menu img. So this is the class food menu img, so we will select that. So let's go to our food menu img dot food dash menu dash img, and here we will give its width as 20%. Save it and refresh it, but it's not applied because this is not responsive. So here we need to give a class to our actual image. So this is img dash responsive. Now refresh it, so it's nice and small, and let's give it our curveness as well. Curve, save it and refresh it, so it's nice and curved, but we need to float this image on left and see or move this text to our right side. So let's add our float to left. Let's refresh it. Now it's floating on the left, and after the float, so this is on the left, so here we need to break the float as well. So I'll give div, and its class will be clear fix. Let's save it and let's refresh it. It's okay. Now we need to add css to our food menu description now. So I will copy it, go to style.css, and here we will create css for them. So we need to add space on the left side. Now let's select our food menu DSC, and we will add css on that. So food menu DSC, we need to add dot for class, and then here we will give its width as 70%. Since this is 20%, I will give its width as 70% to be on safe side, and float on left. Let's save it and let's refresh. And we also want to give space on its left side, so let's give its margin on left, margin left as, let's say, 8%. Let's refresh it. Now it looks better, it looks nice, but let's add some css on our this price and this paragraph as well. So I'll add css on this price first. So I'll go to price, and in paragraph tag I will add class, and I will call it food dash price, and I will also add paragraph on description. I'll cut it is equals to food dash dsc. This is food menu description, and this is food dsc. Let's give food, what we call detail, let's call it food detail, so we won't get confused. So we have food price and food detail. First thing we have is food price, so food dash price, I want it to be little bigger, so let's give its font that size, font size to be, let's say, 1.2 rem. Save it and let's refresh it. So it's a little bit bigger, so but I want space on top and bottom, so I'll add margin, and top and bottom 1%, and left and right 0. Let's refresh. So it has little bit space, but I want more. let's say 2, F5. It's okay, it's okay now. And for this description, I want it to be little bit smaller, and little bit of little bit gray color. So let's say for that detail, and this is the font size of, let's say, 0.8 rem. It's small, let's say 1, go with 1. It's okay, but I want it to be little bit lighter gray, so I will select, let's select which one should I think I'll select this one. So I'll give its color as this one. Let's refresh. Now let's refresh it. So it's not that dark, so this is a little bit dark, and this is our foot title. And I also want our this edges to be curved, so let's add that border radius on our foot menu box. So here does border radius, let's say 15 pixel, save it and refresh. Now we have nice border over here. Now I will copy this one and paste, replace this box with all of this one. So let's go to index.html. I will remove these, so we have nice and clean only one. So I want to have similar like this, others I will have other foods like this one. So I'll just copy this from here to here, and I want 6 boxes. So I have already 1, 2, 3, paste 4, 5 and 6. So I have pasted 6 times. So if I refresh it, now I have 6 food on the menu. So we will be removing later. I will be removing all of this border later, and it will look really nice. So let's change the images as well. So first I will change the image here. So this is third one, so I'll go to third one. So where is this is first one, second one, and this is third one. So I want it to be menu, I'll say burger, and this is, I will call it burger. I will, let's say, nice burger. You can add the description on your own. I won't add the description right now, and this will, I will call it let's leave it as it is, but I want to change, add the last one. So I will change the last one. I'll change this as Momo, and I already have added all of the images like this here. So this will be Momo, and I will call it chicken Momo. Save it and refresh it. So this one is changed, this one is changed, and let's change up here as well. So let's add another, I think another burger here. What do you say? So I'll add burger here, up here in second one as well. So first one and second one I will add burger. I just changed the title of this food, and let's refresh it. Now we have burger here, and burger, pizza, and Momo. And here we have our nice button. So that's it for now. I think this looks pretty good at this point. So we have completed our menu section as well. Now we will work on our second last, which is social media option. Here we will add icon for our social media. So let's minimize this section and let's go to our social section, and here we have Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and they are on horizontal. Now I want them to be on center, so I'll call text center class. We have already created this one, and let's refresh it. Now they are on center, but we want on single line, and we do not want this point as well. So we will do as we have done for our menu. So what we will do is target that ul and li. So this is social class, so let's create css for social. So here I will call social class and ul. So I do not want list style type none, it will remove the dot from here. And another one is we need to target social ul li, and what we need is display option to be in inline, and this will add all of our menu in horizontally. And we also want padding, so let's add padding, and padding of 1% will be okay, padding 1%, that's it. And instead of this text, let's add icon. For that I use icons8.com, and let's go to icons8.com, and here you can find a lot of icons for free, so I will use that one. I don't know why it's taking a lot of time. Usually it loads pretty fast, but today is taking a lot of time. I don't know why. So if your internet is good, then it should load by now. And if you have any confusion till now, please comment below. I will try to help as much as possible. Please if you are understanding perfectly, then also comment below that it's okay for now. Okay, so first first icon I want is Facebook. So let's search, and here we have our Facebook icon, so I will use this one. And here you can embed. I don't know why it's taking a lot of time today. I think my internet is down or what. Now let's embed. We need to embed an HTML, so I'll click on embed HTML, and I will click to copy, just click to copy. And let's go to our index.html and remove this Facebook, and I'll paste it here and save it, Ctrl and S to save. And let's refresh it, and we have Facebook, nice Facebook icon here. Similarly, let's add Instagram and Twitter, so I'll close it. I will add Instagram, I'll add this one, embed, copy, just click and it will be copied. And let's replace text by our image, and let's save it. And if we refresh, here is Instagram and Twitter. Let's remove the Twitter text with our icon, Twitter, search, and then this one, and then embed, copy, and then here replace this text with image, save it, and we'll refresh the site. And here we have nice icon for our social media, so I'll close this. And like this you can add icon, and at the bottom what we have is this footer. For this I will just align them to right, and that will be okay for now. So with container, what we want is text that center, so that's it. Let's save it and let's refresh the site, and that's it. And it looks pretty good for now. Now it's time to rebuild our website by removing all of these borders. So I will remove the border one by one. So let's go to style.css and let's remove the border. So let's search where we have borders. I will remove this border in our food menu box. After that, where we have box 3 also have border, and then we have border on logo, and another one border is on container. So let's remove the container, let's save it and let's refresh it. Now that's it guys, we have successfully removed the border and it looks really nice. So this is it. I think we need to add certain margin bottom on our s3 tag. This is s2 tag, really this is s2 tag. So let's add margin on s2 tag. So I'll go to our s2 tag. Where is our s2 tag? Here is our s2 tag, and here let's add margin dash bottom, and I'll give 2%, save it and let's refresh it. and it has added nice space below our menu. Okay, here you can add different title, but for now it's okay. Categories, or let's call it special foods. Let's call that this is food menu. Let's call it food menu. I will cut it and I will call it food menu, and in categories I will call it explore food, explore foods. Let's refresh and it looks nice, explore foods. And what we have is we have menu here. We won't be creating all of the pages, we will only be creating this page, but if you want then try on your own. And here what we can do, what we have is, this is the field to source the food. As soon as the customer visits our site, they can source their food, and since we can see the images of the foods on screen, it compels the user to scroll, and when they scroll they can click. Sorry, I have forgotten to add anchor link because we want them to be clickable. So let's add anchor tag in our explore food. So above div tag we need to add anchor tag, and let's give dummy link, and we need to add Ctrl X and here paste tab, and we need to do the same for all. Ctrl C and here Ctrl V, I will add it here, Ctrl V, and we also need to close the anchor tag. Sorry, Ctrl C, and we need to close this anchor tag here, Ctrl V tab, and here we need to close it, Ctrl V. Ctrl save, and let's refresh. Now if you hover you can see the pointer, but this is not showing pointer. This is had the second one, I do not have a pointer. Okay, I'll remove this one. This is the error. So if I refresh, now we have a pointer, so they are clickable. We can click on all of this. So later we will make this website fully functional using PHP. So if you want to learn PHP and make this website dynamic, then please click on the subscribe button, and soon I will create a course on making this website fully functional using PHP programming language and our MySQL database. So this is our menu. We will display all of this menu from our database. For now this is it. Now we need to work on last stage, which is making this website mobile ready. If we check this site, so if I right click and go to inspect, and here you can click on this icon. If you click on this icon, it will show the mobile version of your site. And if we see the mobile version, it doesn't look very good because logo is small. It is not very good, and this is also not good, and this is also not looking very good, and here this is really small and this is not good. So we need to fix that for our mobile version. Okay, so if I click on responsive, this is our mobile version, so we need to work on that. So let's go and work on that. Okay, now let's work on our last stage, which is making our website mobile ready, or making our website responsive. To make our website responsive, we need to go to the CSS, and it is really easy. Okay, so we need to create another CSS. So CSS for mobile size or smaller screen, and we will do this based on the screen size of the device. For that we need to add media query, and let's add that. So here I will paste media screen code. So this is it, @media only screen max width and size. Here we need to close. So what we have done is, if the maximum width of the screen is 768 pixel, then we will use different CSS. This one is for desktop size, and this 768 pixel means this is maximum 768 pixel is a tablet size. So this is for smaller devices, or the devices which are smaller than 768 pixel width. Okay, so here we will target our CSS. First we need to target is our logo. So if we go to the logo, let's see the logo. Where is logo? CSS of logo. Width is 10%, so we need to increase the width of logo. So let's increase the width of this logo, and here we will add logo, and let's call it width will be, let's say 80%. Save it and refresh. Now it looks nice, but our menu is on this position and we do not want that. For that, what we can do it, float is none. We do not want to float anymore. We want on same space, and it has different spaces on left and right side, but we want this image to be on center. So let's add margin top and bottom 0 and left and right auto. This will automatically make our logo in center, so it's in center. Let's add margin on top and bottom. So I'll add margin and top and bottom for 1%, and let's refresh it. Now it looks a little bit nice and it's in center. I think that's okay for now. And now let's work on menu. We need to make it on our center. So let's add, where is our menu or logo? So menu UL, so we will target menu UL. Let's go to our CSS and menu.ul menu and UL text align center. Now it's on center. So with that, and this will be only applied when the screen size is smaller than 768 pixels. For now this screen size is 386. Let's go to iPad. So this is 760, so iPad size is 768 pixel, but if it's bigger than 768 it will apply our desktop CSS. So our 768 pixel is our mobile size, so mobile size or iPad size. And now let's bring our button down, because whenever our, let's say, mobile is smaller, it doesn't look good. So let's bring the bottom down and make our this space a little bit bigger. So we will target now on our font input type, source input type. So here we have, so we will target, I'll copy this and I will increase its width. So let's go here and paste it here, close it, and let's give its width as 90%, and let's refresh it, and it looks okay. And we need to add margin at bottom, margin dash bottom. Let's give its margin as 5% and its bottom, and let's give its padding as well. Let's increase the padding. Earlier it was 1%. If we look at input box, where is input box? Here is our input. Its padding was 1%. Now I have given 2%, and it's a little bit bigger as well. And for bottom, let's give its width as 100% as well. So I'll select the btn. It was for all, so let's give its width as 95%. Now it's bigger, so let's decrease its size to, let's say, 93%. Not, let's decrease 92, 91, and we also need to increase the padding here. So I'll add padding 2%, refresh, and it looks kind of nice. Let's add margin bottom of 3% only. it's everything is hit and trial, so it looks nice. So it will be easier to click on source bottom when we have up and bottom. Now let's work on our explore food section. So I want these images to be single, so let's target that section, which is box 3. So we will increase the space for box 3, and let's increase the width of box 3 here, box 3, and increase width be, let's say, 95%, and it's bigger and nice, but we need margin at top and bottom. So let's add margin at top and bottom, let's say 2%, and auto, it will bring them in center. So it will bring them in center. Now they are in center, but we do not have enough space. I think I'll add 4%, and let's call it 90% only. Now it's okay, it's kind of okay for now, and it looks better than earlier. And we also need to add space on our this section, and let's add that space. So that was our food source section. So let's add padding on top and bottom, food source section. So before box we have food source section. Let's add padding of, let's say, 10% and 0 on left and right, 10% on top and bottom, 0 on left and right. It's not adding, is it? Sorry, it was not food source section, it added on food source section, so that's cool as well. Food, this is 10%, so that's okay for food source section. This is category section, so we need to add for category section padding, let's say 10% and 0. Let's scroll. Now it's nice at top and bottom. I think we need to add more, so I'll add 20% padding at top and bottom. Now it's really good up and down here. Let's add padding for our S2 section as well, explore foods. So I'll add padding for S2 section as well. So S2 padding, let's say, do we need padding? Not padding, margin, we need margin bottom, margin plus margin bottom, let's say 5%, auto. Not, we don't need this one because we are only selecting the bottom section. So explore 5%. What about 10%? It's all hit and trial, guys. So it looks nice because we have a bigger space now, so that's okay. We have, now let's work on our food menu section. Now we need to target our food menu section, so let's look for food menu and food menu box. We need to make food menu box as 100%. Let's select food menu first and then food menu box. So let's go with food menu, food dash menu, and it will be, it's, let's say, padding for top and bottom. We will add top and bottom for 20% and auto or 0 for left and right. Let's refresh it. So it has nice space at top and bottom. Now let's add the space on our this food menu box. So let's add the food menu dash box, and let's give its width as 95%. At first I will give 95%, refresh it. Now it looks good, and but we need to increase padding, as well. So I will decrease it to 90 and I will increase its padding to, let's say, 10%, not 10%, it's a lot, 5%, Oh, it looks nice, it looks nice. Now we need to add margin bottom as well. So let's add margin bottom. Margin bottom of 5%, and refresh. Now it looks nice and good. So this looks nice, and our other section as well looks nice. So let's add space for our social section as well. So I'll select social, and let's add padding on top and bottom, 5% and 0 on left and right space. So it looks nice. So this is it, guys. It looks nice, it is responsive. Now we have home, about, foods, and contact. We can search food here, and we can explore food. The category section looks really good, and here we have food menu. We can read the title, we have price, we have description, and we have order now button as well. So this is it. We have made it responsive. If I go to full size, or if I click on this is our full width for our website, and it looks really good on our desktop view and as well as on our mobile view. So this is, guys, this is how easily we can create a responsive website using HTML and CSS only. Now when you get comfortable, when you make couple of website using HTML and CSS only like this, then learning a framework like Bootstrap won't be that difficult, because we do not even need to write CSS like this. All of these CSS are written by the framework. We only need to know the name, like name of the classes to use. That's it. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then don't forget to like this video and also share with your friend. If you are new to this channel, then please click on that subscribe button. In the next course, I will make this website functional using PHP programming language and MySQL database. So please stay tuned and also share with your friends. And if you have any confusion related to this video, then please comment below. I will reply to you as soon as possible. If you have any suggestions for me, then please comment below, and I will make more better courses in the future. So guys, this is it. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on new tutorial series. Till then, stay safe, take care, see you soon, bye bye.